What's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back into the video day, and today we're going to be talking about the Golden State Warriors potentially signing Clint Capela. This Golden State Warriors team, after what I saw the last couple series, all season really, they need to add in a center. And this is why I hate when people say, the Golden State Warriors would have won a championship. The Warriors weren't going to win anything with no size, and that's why I believe. I'm going to say this right off the bat. I believe the Warriors in the future, when I say future, I really mean 1 or 2 year window, with Jimmy, Steph, and others potentially. I think, Pajemski starts to develop more. I think a lot of people expect so much from a guy that's in his second year and so young. So I think, as a Rocket, someone who's a Rockets fan has seen how much better younger players can get by the year. Pajemski's going to continue to get better. I think he improved from his rookie year to his second year. I'd like to see what happens in his third year. So, and just imagine some of the other younger players like Quentin Post. How better does he get going into his second year? So I think about him. I'm not going to talk about Kuminga because who knows if he's going to be a part of the future for this Warriors team. I would say most likely I think he might get dealt to Brooklyn in a sign and trade because I think Brooklyn, it seems like they're willing to give Kuminga $25 to $30 million a year, and I don't know if that's something the Warriors would do. But so I think that this Warriors team, the only thing they're really missing is a center. You've got the superstar power with Steph and Jimmy. I don't think people are crazy when you look at it and say, oh, without Stephen Curry, the Warriors would have won that series against Minnesota. I don't think that doesn't sound crazy to me. Minnesota played sloppy. They really played sloppy, and the Warriors are a different team without Steph. But I think that's where I cross it right there because I don't think the Warriors would have had trouble against the Thunder, and the exact reason we're talking about right here is the reason why. No size. The Thunder have 2 7-foot centers in their starting lineup with Hartenstein and Chet Holmgren. That's a problem. That would have been a huge problem. Then you've got to deal with the MVP, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. You've got a great defender in Draymond Green. You've got other great defenders like Gary Payton and others that can help without that. Help with dealing with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. But then there's J-Dub. There's the Thunder. Just to me, I don't think there's anyone that could have stopped the Thunder. And right now, I see the Thunder winning the NBA championship. But if the Golden State Warriors could prioritize adding in a center, I think they are more built to deal with the big contenders in the Western Conference. I don't really see Minnesota as a big contender. I think OKC is probably going to win in 5 or 6 games, most likely 6 games in that series. There hasn't been a 7-game series in the Western Conference Finals since the Rockets-Warriors in 17-18. I would say likely it's another year without a Game 7 in the Western Conference Finals. Look, I'd like to see Minnesota win and Anthony Edwards win, but I just don't see it happening. I think the Thunder are going to win it all. So, but this Warriors team, if they're going to want to compete, they're going to have to add in a center. And there's a guy that's a free agent that I think would be a great fit. They need the rebounding. I think the rebounding is a huge problem. Offensive rebound. If you look at the offensive rebounding last night, Golden State actually killed Minnesota in the offensive rebounding. But the defensive rebounding, that is where the Warriors got killed. And that's where the Warriors mostly get killed. You look at the Rockets series, they got absolutely killed on the glass. The Rockets murdered them on offensive glass and the defensive glass. It was a problem. And rebounding over the season was a big problem. Centers had monster rebound numbers against this Warriors team. It was bad. And here's a guy who can fix that. A rebound champion, Clint Capela from the 2020-21 season. A guy who, almost averaged a double-double this year, even though he had the lowest minutes of his career since the 2016-17 season. This year, Capela played 55 games with 41 starts, 21 minutes per game, shot 56% from the floor, and averaged 9 points per game with almost 9 rebounds per game and 1 block per game, 1 assist per game, almost 1 steal per game, and he only played 21 minutes per game. What did he do last year when the minutes were just a little bit higher, only 4 minutes higher, and a starter in every single game, 73 games? 57% from the floor. Capela averaged 12 points per game, 11 rebounds per game, 1.2 assists per game, almost 2 blocks per game. Or we can just go look at, what he did in the 2020-21 season. He was top 6 in the Defensive Player of the Year voting, 15.2 points per game, 14.3 rebounds per game, 2 blocks per game, shot 59% from the floor. Or a season with the Rockets, and the 17-18 season. This guy in the 17-18 season shot 65% from the floor and averaged 14 and 11. So this is a guy, Clint Capela, that can really help with the rebounding issues this team has. I've seen people look to Brook Lopez. I didn't think Brook Lopez did a great job with the rebounding this year. I think, and you know what, you can look at Brook Lopez's struggles with the rebounding this year and point to Giannis Antetokounmpo and say, Giannis Antetokounmpo is grabbing a lot of the rebounds, so that's a problem. So maybe in Golden State, Brook Lopez would be a better rebounder than compared to Milwaukee, because there is no Giannis there. And he could be, look, Lopez could be a good fit. I really believe so, because he's a great 3-point shooter. But if you want a good rebound, here's what I'd say with the Warriors. If you want a good rebounder and you want a good 3-point shooter, and maybe someone who's a little bit younger, might as well just trade for Nikola Vucevic instead of going after Brook Lopez in free agency. But I think the best option for this Warriors team, where you don't have to give up anything in a trade, because the Bulls are going to want some draft picks. I think you'll probably have to give up Moses Moody in the deal, maybe some other players in the deal to get that trade worked with the Bulls to get Vucevic. Clint Capela, I think he'd sign. I'm not going to say for cheap, but I think he would sign with the Warriors. Brook Lopez might want a good amount of money, because Brook Lopez, people do not realize how valuable Brook Lopez is when it comes to his shot blocking. He is still such a good shot blocker, and his 3-point shooting, and how bad the Warriors need that. Need the 3-point shooting, or not the 3-point shooting, but need the rebounding and need the big man. I think that with Brook Lopez, you might see, honestly, you might see him want some good money for from this Warriors team, especially because it might be his last NBA contract. Clint Capela, he could, I don't know, but I could be wrong, but he might want to, he might be okay with signing a cheaper deal, or at least it might be a cheaper deal than Brook Lopez. But yeah, I think that Clint Capela would be a good fit for this Warriors team. You guys let me know your thoughts on the potential signing in the comment section, and peace out.